all aboard, brave souls. We move on. So all aboard, brave souls. All aboard, brave souls. All aboard, brave souls. We move on. We move on. We move on. But we never, never forget.
All right, good morning, everyone, and we are now live at the portal, Top Notch Portal. Good morning to one and all. Today, we are going to have your, of course, Quizmaster session for legal medicine and med jurisprudence, together with our guest speaker for our Quizmaster, si Dr. Ralph Benedict Maad. But before we start, guys, let me just share to you muna ng pampagising, pampagana sa umaga, okay? By showing you our send-off video for you guys from the previous ones, just pang ano lang, pampasaya ng umaga natin. Okay?
I close my eyes and I can see a world that's waiting up for me, that I call my own. Through the dark, through the door, through where no one's been before, but it feels like home. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care, so call me crazy. We can live in a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world can be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make.
There's a house we can build. Every room inside is filled with things from far away. The special things I compile, each one there to make you smile on a rainy day.
They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say we've lost our minds. Run away to a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make.
However big, however small, let me be part of
close my eyes to see. I close my eyes to see. Every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head.
A million dreams are keeping me awake.
A million dreams, a million dreams. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make.
Conquer the world. Tibay ng loob, everyone.
For the world we're gonna make.
All right, wait lang. Ayan, sorry. All right, everyone. So that was our pampagising ng umaga. Okay. So before we start our Quizmaster session, let us all compose ourselves before the holy presence of the Lord. In the name of the Father, of the Son, of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Lord, we thank you for this day, for giving us another day, for us to be able to prepare for our students' board examination. Lord, bless them that they may be able to answer everything in their power during their examination and during this Quizmaster session. This we ask through Christ our Lord. Amen. All right, so let me just share my screen for our Quizmaster. Again, for the first part of this Quizmaster session, I'm going to show you the questions, the 10 questions, and then you have 30 seconds to answer them. So write down your answers on your designated Quizmaster test sheets or test papers, okay? And then later on, Dr. Maalat will be discussing all of these answers and the rationale for your Quizmaster session. So let us begin. We have your question number 1. You have 30 seconds for this. Then question number 2. Number 3. And next, question number 4. Oops. And question number 5. Question number 6. Question number 7. Question number 8. Number 9. And number 10. All right, so that is the first part of the Quizmaster. So before I give the floor to Dr. Maalat, good morning once again to everyone who are here in the Zoom and those who are watching here, those who are watching at the Top Notch portal. Good morning sa inyong lahat. Also, just a few reminders lang for Quizmaster for today. During our Quizmaster with Dr. Maalat, I will be showing, or I will be launching the poll for those who are here at the Zoom session, and you'll be having around 10 to 15 seconds to answer that. And then after answering the poll, Dr. Maalat will be explaining the rationale for that question. All right. So I will, Dr. Maalat, good morning to you, Doc. I'm now giving the floor to you for our Quizmaster session for LegMed Medical Jurisprudence and Ethics. Good morning, Doc.
Good morning, everyone. Let me just share my screen. Okay, I hope that you can see my slides.
Yes,
Okay
sir.
lang po, no?
Apo.
Okay. So it's a bit early, no? Actually, siguro for most of you, it's more early than you want it to be. Pero I hope that you will stay focused during this short discussion. So legal medicine, like PrevMed, is actually one of the subjects that students take for granted. But it's still a subject in your board exam. So you still must remain focused during this discussion, and don't forget everything that we're going to teach you right now. So we're going to go through 10 questions which further emphasize the topics that I think you should review more if you're having a hard time with this subject. Kasi the questions that were just shown will covered actually topics that are either almost always asked or lumalabas nga pero taken for granted. So, for the very first question, yan, ginising ko agad kayo dito sa UHC. Okay? Hindi kasi ako marunong kumanta tulad ng video. Pero, there were questions kasi during the last exams that was about the referral system. And actually, in October 10, I think it was 2019, pre-pandemic pa nun, Duterte actually already signed the implementing rules and regulations of your UHC, your Universal Healthcare Bill, which is, by the way, your RA 11223. Madali lang tandaan, di ba? 11223. And one of the perhaps topics that may be asked is the how regular the list of public and private and referral hospitals. And referral hospitals are also called your apex hospitals or tertiary hospitals. We're more acquainted with that term. Every quarter, within the last quarter of the year. Okay, the answer to this question is letter D. So, there are many terms discussed in your UHC. The most important perhaps is your primary care, which refers to initial contact, accessible, continuous, comprehensive, and coordinated care. But most importantly, it has the ability to coordinate referrals to other healthcare providers within the healthcare delivery system. Before, our healthcare system is magulo actually. So, pwede na dumiretso yung patient sa specialist mismo. But the UHC requires that you should first pass through a primary healthcare provider, a primary care provider, before you end up to your apex or end referral hospitals. So there are several hierarchies wherein the strategy to target the levels of populations differ. Meron kasing individual-based wherein the programs are targeted on individual patients, and there are population-based healthcare service components wherein yun yung mga vaccination programs kung saan there are groups of people that are targeted, and there are province and citywide health systems that are going to be implemented. In your population-based health service components, one such capability is the two-way referral system, okay, which must be efficient and should not serve as a barrier between coordinating between your GP and your specialist. So again, your apex or end referral hospitals are what we call right now your tertiary hospitals. And the list of the public and private apex or end referral hospitals are submitted by the DOH to PhilHealth within the last quarter of the year. Okay, take note that it may be public or private. Okay, even private hospitals may be has a role in your UHC. So the province-wide health system shall be linked to at least one apex or end referral hospital. That's the minimum requirement with regards to the healthcare system, to your UHC. Okay, so for the next question, which types of evidences are correctly matched? Okay, so naglagay ako mga K-type questions because they're one of the more hard questions to answer. Saka mas pampagising siya. So, direct evidence, is the DNA of the suspect found in the victim a direct evidence? Is it Roman numeral 2, 3, or 4? Okay. So the answer for this is, okay, it's A, 1 only. Now, there are different kinds of evidences. You may categorize your evidences based on the kinds necessary for conviction. You have your direct evidence, which proves the fact in dispute without the aid of any inference or presumption and corresponds to the precise or actual point at issue. For example, a woman was killed by multiple gunshot wounds and the offender was caught at the scene of the crime with his hands and clothes stained with fresh blood and gunpowder. DNA of the suspect found in the victim can stand on its own. It proves the fact in dispute. It's direct, so it may be treated as proof beyond reasonable doubt. You also have your circumstantial evidence. From the name itself, circumstantial evidence, it refers to the circumstances that may prove the fact in dispute. So it's sufficient to produce conviction when there's more than one. The facts from which the inferences are derived are proven, and the combination of all circumstances that were given is able to produce a conviction beyond reasonable doubt. For example, a woman died of multiple stab wounds wherein the knife remained stuck in the chest of the victim. The knife has fingerprints. Near the body of the victim, there is an identification card showing the picture and personal information of a particular person. And it just so happens that that particular person was absent for work that day. So the combination of those circumstances may produce a conviction that is beyond reasonable doubt. And you also have your corroborative evidence, which backs up someone's story to support a proposition that is already supported by some initial evidence. You also have types of physical evidence. This was asked in the previous exams, I think. So you have corpus delicti. It refers to the object or substances which may be part of the crime. It proves the crime existed. You also have your associative evidence, which links the suspect to the crime, such as the ID card we've talked about earlier. And you have your tracing evidence, which assists the investigator in locating the suspect. So for your next question, for damages, so to serve as a deterrence and example to others because of the malicious nature of the defendant's act, the court awarded 500,000 pesos to the plaintiff. Okay, I'm pleased that most of you got the correct answer. So first off, let's discuss a bit the different types of damages. So the answer is corrective or exemplary damages. I didn't use the term exemplary because the answer would be obvious. So moral damages includes the physical suffering, mental anguish, serious anxiety, besmirched reputation, and the awards is based on Article 2219 of the Civil Code. You have two common methods to determine the amount of moral damages. You have your per diem method and you have your golden rule method. Okay, the per diem method is wherein the estimated value per day times the number of days the victim will suffer. So equation siya. The golden rule method refers wherein there is a call on the judge to determine how much damage he wishes to receive. Okay, and it's usually based on a previous case, based on a reference case. You also have the answer to our previous question. You have exemplary or corrective damages. It's monetary compensation above the actual deserved punishment, just to serve as a deterrence to or example imposed by way of an example or correction for the public good based on Article 2219, again, the Civil Code. So it cannot be recovered as a matter of right according to Article 2233. You also have your nominal damages. So there's no substantial loss or injury to the compensated, but there is a technical invasion of the right of the plaintiff. Wala naman talagang nasira na bagay, but nagkaroon ng invasion ng right ng plaintiff. So the court must award some damages. You also have liquidated damages. This is the easiest one to remember. It's due to violation of a contract. So in case of lost luggage, the airline will only be liable to $200 maximum. So that's a good example. And you have temperate or moderate damage. This is not usually asked. It's more than nominal but less than compensatory, and the amount cannot really be proved with certainty. And the judge usually gives an arbitrary number, which may be based on previous cases. So for the next question, which of the following are correctly matched? So there are a lot of questions about your gunshot wounds. Okay, so the answer here is letter D, 1, 2, and 4. So why is 3 not correct? And remember, number 4, Walker test. We're going to go through it in our next slides. So there are a lot of tables about gunshot wounds. Siguro siya yung second, ang pinakamadami. Yung pinakamadami pa rin is about the different causes of death. So you have anteportem and post-mortem gunshot wounds. Remember that your vital tissue reaction is always present in antemortem wounds but absent in postmortem wounds. Usually, yun pa lang actually marami ka nang masasagot. Vital tissue reaction. So, you have contraction of the tissues, mas arterial yung bleeding, hence mas gaping din yung edges. So, we see the edges gaping in wounds, in antemortem gunshot wounds compared to others. You have spouting of blood, you have clotting, and etc. You also have gunshot wounds based on entrance. So, madali lang yan tandaan kasi it's just 15 to 60. Anything less is short range, anything more is long range. And usually yung difference lang naman is between long range and the short and medium range, wherein the abrasion color and smudging is absent in your long range wounds, more than 60%. The contact ring is always present, and tattooing may be variable in your medium range weapons. So this is an example of your tattooing. So that's the abrasion collar, and the gray circle around your abrasion collar is your tattooing, shown in the actual picture here. So for the entrance wound, so it's smaller than the bullet. It's inverted, papasok kasi siya, whereas the exit wound is inverted. The entrance wound is usually oval or round, and the contusion collar is, or contact ring is present sa entrance but absent sa exit. Okay. The paraffin test may be positive sa entrance but always negative sa exit wound, since hindi naman lalabas na yung gunpowder dun sa labas. And ito yung madalas na natitaken for granted ng students, the different tests for powder residues. On skin, remember, on skin, you have dermal nitrate, paraffin, diphenylamine, lung test or Gonzalez test, okay? And for clothing, you have Walker test. Okay. I'll go a bit faster. Medyo, kakapusin tayo sa time. So number 5, which of the following elements are elements of qualified seduction? Okay, so the answer here is all of the above. Okay, remember the differences between your simple seduction and qualified seduction. Simple seduction, there must be sexual intercourse. Virginity is not an element. There is deceit. And the victim is over 12 but under 18. Your qualified seduction, there is an abuse of authority. There is deceit, maybe done by priests, household servants, domestic guardian, or any person entrusted with a woman seduced. You have 2 types of qualified seduction. It's actually very technical, there are differences. So again, virginity is an element, and there must be sexual intercourse between the offender and offended party. The difference between the ordinary seduction and your incestuous seduction is that in incestuous seduction, there is blood relationship. So a topic that's also asked regarding this is your Westermarck effect. So your Westermarck effect is wherein the proximity to others during development serves as a biological cue for biological relatedness, hence critical for sexual aversion between siblings. Okay? Madalas kasi pumapasok yun na question for qualified seduction din, the incestuous type. Anyways, next question. Most important bone to determine the sex from skeletal remains. I think this is a very easy question kasi pinapasadahan din to ng med school, even hindi sa legal med. And kung nanood naman kayo ng mga series na forensics yung topic, alam niyo naman yung sagot nito. Okay. So, most of you got the correct answer. It's pelvis. Kapag height, ano yung main determinant? Anong bone? Kapag height, it's femur. Okay, so there are many evidence of sex. There are different types. You have presumptive, so that's the general features, the contour of face, the length of scalp hair, yung figure, yung habit or inclination of the individual. You have highly probable evidences of sex, which is the vagina, breasts, and muscular development and distribution of fat in the body, whereas conclusive evidences of sex include the presence of ovary in females and the testicles in males. You have different methods of identification. You have by comparison, you have by exclusion, you have by fasces or facial expression. This is the most important one dito sa tatlong to. Yung by fasces kasi they often ask ano yung itsura ng Hippocratic fasces, or in the nose is pinched, anong itsura ng Mongolian fasces, yung almond eyes and prominent cheekbones. You have leonine fasces or lion-like, which is found in leprosy, elephantiasis, and fibrous dysplasia on the face called your leontiasis osseosa, and you have your myxedemic fasces, which is non-pitting edematous face. Okay, and you also have other methods of identification. Sorry, nag-segue tayo ng konti. This is other methods of identification for blood and blood stains naman to. So don't forget to differentiate between the chemical tests, the biological tests, and spectrometry tests. So you have your chemical tests, including the following. So you have benzidine, guaiacum, phenolphthalein, and your leucomalachite green. So usually it's important to differentiate lang kung anong type of test siya. You also have your microscopic tests. You have Takayama and Takeman. And you have your spectroscopic tests, okay, which are the least asked. And you have your biological tests, your percipitin tests, madalas tanungin, and your blood grouping. Okay, because this is the pelvis, so the differences between your female and male pelvis are easy to more or less grasp because the female pelvis is designed for a childbearing. So dapat greater yung diameter ng pelvis, lower your curvature ng iliac crest para hindi matulis pag dumaan yung baby. You have a wider sciatic notch and a wider body of pubis, as well as a round iliopectineal line. Okay. Next, inherent rights of a physician include the following. Okay, so the answer here is letter A. Okay, I get your confusion sa 1 kasi, sa statement 1. Madalas kasi yan nagkakalituhan talaga dyan. So, take note, yung inherent rights sa inherent rights. Yung number 1, to choose patients, yung first statement, yung second statement pala, to limit the practice. And for the last statements, incidental rights, which is the right to perform certain services. The right to limit practice is dictated by the preference of the physician. Halimbawa, orthopedic surgeon ka, kaya mo mag-opera ng kahit anong related sa bone. Pero pinipili mo lang right hand operahan. Okay, yan yung right to limit practice. Yung incidental right na right to perform certain services is limited by your training kasi. Okay. So for example, GP ka, hindi ka pwede mag-prostatectomy. Radical, in fact, yung tinanong doon sa previous question. Kasi hindi ka naman trained na mag-radical prostatectomy in the first place. So that was an incidental right. So the answer to the previous question is only statement 4, which was a passing GP refuses to aid people coming out of a burning building. Kasi the physician has the right to choose patients in times of emergencies, except during pandemics, the physician may avoid those instances. So other inherent rights, take note, may 4 kang inherent rights, meron kang 6 incidental rights. So right to choose patients, right to limit practice, right to determine the appropriate management procedures, and to avail of hospital services. The rest naman are easy to understand. Incidental rights include right of way, right of exemption from execution of instruments and library, right to hold serve in offices, compensation, saka membership. Easy naman tandaan yung iba. Nagkakalituhan lang talaga doon sa dalawang statements na diniscuss natin. So I hope you remember that. Okay, next question. Right lower lung mass was mistakenly identified on X-ray as a nipple shadow for the last 2 years in the same hospital despite increasing in size. Anong doctrine to? Sorry, hinika ako kaya ganito ako magsalita. Okay, tapos na pala. So the answer here is okay, 1 and 4. Okay. So doctrine of ostensible agent and doctrine of continuing negligence. So doctrine of ostensible agents, again, these three specialists kasi occupy a peculiar state sa function sa hospital. Your pathologist, radiologist, and histologist. They are employees and at the same time independent contractors. Okay, so ostensible agents sila. Tapos doon sa example natin, X-ray reading yung problema. Borrowed servant doctrine is a resident assisting a surgeon negligently cuts the ureter instead of the appendix. So the surgeon is also liable kasi borrowed servant yung resident. Tapos you have captain of the ship, yung surgeon likened to the captain of the ship. So the surgeon is responsible for anything that goes wrong inside the OR. So easy to understand naman yung iba. And it just so happens na yun na ito pala yung difference ng borrowed servant and captain of the ship doctrine. The borrowed servant doctrine is applicable only if the wrongful act was done while being supervised by the doctor or surgeon, habang sa captain of the ship, whether or not present yung surgeon. Okay. So, isang important difference yan. So, you have other doctrines that are easy to understand naman na. You have your res ipsa loquitur. The thing speaks for itself. Famous example, Kelly forceps na iwan doon sa abdomen ng isang ex-lap patient. So don't forget to memorize the elements of your res ipsa loquitur. Sa legal med, basta may makita akong elements, tinatandaan ko yung mga nasa ilalim nun. Kasi sometimes there are minor differences between yung closely related topics. So you have your doctrine of continuing negligence, which is also involved dun sa previous case natin. So even after 2 years kasi nipple shadow pa rin yung call dun sa lung mass. So dapat nahuli na yon, dapat na-catch na yon. So it delayed the treatment dun sa patient or failed to investigate the non-response. Number 9, vicarious liability of hospitals include the following. Okay. Tulog pa rin yung kalahati, pero thank you for answering ng mga sumagot. So, it's letter C, actually. It's 2 and 3. So, the difference between your vicarious and corporate liability is actually very easy to understand. Corporate, ano yan, walang kinalaman yan masyado sa doktor. Okay? Yan yung sa accommodation, sa facilities, pangit yung itsura ng building. Wala nang magagawa yung doktor dyan. Nagli-leak yung bubong doon sa ER, nadulas yung pasyente. Corporate liability yon. Vicarious liability kapag involved na yung hospital employees. Mali yung prescription ng moonlighter o hospitalist, vicarious liability na yon. So, the liabilities of a hospital include the following. A person has no absolute right to be admitted in a hospital. A government hospital has no absolute privilege of choice of patients. Tandaan nyo yan, yung government hospital walang privilege of choice of patients. Pero ang private hospital given more power to choose the patients. And these two Republic Acts, tandaan nyo, 4226 for your Hospital Licensure Act, and your 6615 wherein your private hospitals and clinics are required to extend medical assistance in times of emergencies such as in pandemics. And we have your last question, which is the longest discussion. Then, which of the following are correctly matched? Okay, so the answer here is letter C, 2, 3, and 4. So tanda natin yan si Gettler test. Bakit siya mali? Qualitative. Okay. So first off, you have different deaths, methods of deaths from injury from heat. Madalas tinatanong kasi to yung difference between your heat cramps, which is just cramps, heat exhaustion, which is yung heart, yung problem dyan, and your heat stroke, which is more of neurologic. You have heat rupture, wherein there is splitting of your soft tissues, and you have heat stiffening. But the most important among these three is to differentiate between your heat cramps, heat exhaustion, heat stroke. So again, exhaustion, cardiac, stroke is neurologic. You also have deaths or physical injuries from your electricity. So fatalities from a current at a tension of 220 to 250 volts. Okay, tinatanong yan. Or amperes of 70 to 80 sa alternating current or 250 sa direct current is dangerous to the man. You also have death by drowning. So you have cutis anserina and washerwoman's hand sa external examination, and you have internal examination, which has your champignon comb, which is whitish foam that accumulates sa mouth and nostrils. And you have your Gettler test, which is a quantitative determination of fluoride content. Nagkamali ako dito ng board exam ko kasi tinanong to, qualitative, quantitative. Quantitative siya because there must be a difference of at least 25 milligrams to prove whether fresh or salt water yun. So you also have injuries and deaths on the driver and passenger. So you have first collision versus second collision. This is easy to understand. First collision, yung sa actual movement ng vehicle, whereas sa second collision, unrestrained kasi yung occupants, kaya lumipad siya. You also have primary impact versus the secondary impact. Primary impact, also called bumper fracture, kasi doon siya mismo sa kotse tumama. Secondary impact, sa ibang bagay siya tumama. You also have the phases of asphyxia, which was asked daw sa previous exams. So you have your dyspneic phase, convulsive phase, and apneic phase. Sa convulsive phase, lumalabas yung tardieu spotch, which are the petechial hemorrhages sa visceral organs. Again, convulsive phase, you have your tardieu spots. You also have your anoxic death, anemic anoxic death, stagnant anoxic death, and you have your what you call this, histotoxic anoxic death. Anoxic death, failure ng arterial blood to become saturated with oxygen. Sa anemic anoxic death, it's the capacity of blood to carry oxygen, mababa yung hemoglobin. Sa stagnant, it's a circulation, may heart failure ka na. Or sa histotoxic death, ito yung sa electron transport chain. So you have different chemicals that it cause death by asphyxia. Hydrogen cyanide is the most toxic and rapid acting. Sometimes tinatanong yung taste or yung odor. So rotten egg, alam na natin, hydrogen sulfide yun. And the Harvard report for brain death. Siningit ko na lang din siya kasi tinanong siya. So these are the criteria for brain death according to Harvard. So unreceptivity and unresponsibility, no movement or breathing, at least 1 hour, no reflexes, and don't forget a flat EEG. Okay. So 4 yun. And medyo binilisan natin pero I tried to finish on time. I hope you learned at least 50% pero ideally, syempre lahat. Huwag nyo i-take for granted ang legal med ha. I know it's not as interesting siguro to most compared to your other big subjects, your IM, anatomy, biochem. I hope you find biochem interesting. Favorite ko yun. Pero as physicians, kailangan pa rin natin to, alam tong mga to, kahit pa paano. So, kung di-discourage na kayo at this point na parang kaya ko ba? Oo naman, kaya nyo. Dapat kaya nyo. Dapat paniwalaan yung kaya nyo. Kasi paano kayo mag-effort kung sa simula pa lang feel nyo hindi nila kaya. Medicine is not a test of intelligence. It's a test of perseverance. It's a test of character. So, yun lang naman. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dr. Maalat, for that very wonderful quiz master for our Legmed and medical jurisprudence. So for those who are at home watching through the portal, and even those who are here, you can actually ask your questions now regarding your quiz master for Legmed and medical jurisprudence through your MGs. Doc, I think we have a question right here. Wait lang ha. Let me just read it for you. Good morning po, Doc. Would like to clarify lang po ulit regarding question 7. Bakit po hindi inherent right nung choice A, GP refusing to perform radical prostatectomy? Is it not classified under limit to practice? Okay. So nag-water break lang muna si
It's toxic and this is the cause of drinking.
Okay? So again, habang may water break pa si Doc Maalat. So guys, like what Doc Maalat said, please do not do not take for granted yung ating med juris, ang legal medicine. May kasi medyo currently kasi it's much more difficult now compared to the previous years. Okay? So ayan, bumalik kasi Doc. Hi Doc. So I would like to read the question again. No, clarification lang sa question number 7. Bakit po hindi inherent right yung choice A, GP refusing to perform radical prostatectomy? Is it not classified under limit to practice? Thank you po.
Okay, tingnan natin ulit yung table. So again, I can't emphasize enough yung difference ng number 2, which is the right to limit practice. Yung second statement sa first side, yung inherent rights. Tapos yung last statement sa incidental rights, which is the right to perform certain services. Yung sa inherent right to limit practice, hindi ka nalilimit niyan based sa training mo. Kaya mo siya gawin. You just choose not to do it. Doon sa incidental right, which is the right to perform certain services, hindi mo kasi kaya yun gawin. So, hindi mo gagawin. So, yun na patient na yun, radical prostatectomy. Kaya nilagay ko talaga yun radical. Kasi hindi yun kaya ng GP. Okay? So, hindi yun inherent right na kaya niya sana gawin. Hindi niya lang ginusto. It's an incidental right because he was limited by his training. Okay? Ano talaga yan? Common mistake yan. Kaya, nilagay ko talaga siya.
Okay, thank you po, Doc. Are there any more questions for Dr. Maalat for LegMed jurisprudence? If you have questions for those who are at home, you can ask your MGs. You can PM or DM your MGs through your Viber for questions for this quiz master. Okay. So, Doc, I think we don't have. Wait lang, check ko yung chat box natin. Okay, a few more seconds guys para mag-chat kayo sa chat box natin. Okay. All right. So I think we don't have any more questions, Dr. Maalat. That was a very, very nice and concise lecture on legal medicine po. I think that the students were already made aware of their common mistakes while answering their legal medicine through this Quizmaster. So thank you very much, Doc, for sharing all your knowledge of legal medicine and medical jurisprudence.
Thank you so much,
I wish
Ralph.
you all the luck.
Yeah.
Morning po, Doc. Thank you po.
Good morning. Thank you so much then, Troy. Let's have a 2-minute break, Troy, before we proceed with the intro to the pearls. Everyone kindly stay tuned. Okay, stay. Medyo importante yung bibigay ko sa inyong orientation. So kindly stay in the Zoom session, or as Dr. Troy will say, stay in the portal.
All right, so guys,
yung UK accent mo.
I'll just play some music for you guys.
So we're now going to call it from here on the Top Notch portal.
Portal.
Ingat. 2 minutes, pwede ka mo din ng sounds. Bye.
Yes, pala.
Well, you're a real tough cookie with a long history of breaking little hearts like the one of me. There let's see how you do it. Put up your dukes, let's get down to it. Hit me with your best shot. Why don't you hit me with your best shot? Hit me with your best shot. Fire away. You come on with a come on. You don't fight fair. That's okay. See if I care. Knock me down. It's all in vain. I get right back on my feet again. Hit me with your best shot. Why don't you hit me with your best shot? Hit me with your best shot. Fire away. You're a real tough cookie with a long history, breaking little hearts like the one of me. Before I put another notch in my lipstick case, you better make sure you put me in my place. Hit me with your best shot. Come on, hit me with your best shot. Hit me with your best shot. Fire away. Hit me with your best shot. Why don't you hit me with your best shot? Hit me with your best shot. Fire away.
Make me a co-host, Roy, so I can share my screen and I can start now.
Wait lang po. Doc Broly, you are your co-host na po.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Into the Pearls. My apologies, I won't be turning on my video for now. I got into a bike accident 2 days ago. May bandages po ang katawan ko halos, pati yung sa face. So, baka maging distraction pa pag nakita niyo yung mga bandages. So, let's start. Let's begin. Okay? So, Into the Pearls. First, ano yung pearls na to? We've been doing the pearls for the past 17 years. Basically, it's our version of final coaching. We tell our teachers, kung ang kapatid mo kukuha ng board exams bukas, paano mo tuturuan yan? So, kapag ganon, kung kapatid ko kukuha ng board exams bukas na, may assumption ako na nakapag-aral na yan kahit paano, ang ituturo ko sa kanya, definitely essentials na talaga, yung talagang kapit patalim mode na information. And I will probably do it not in a foundational knowledge manner, the same way that we did with your main lectures, but it's going to be mainly in a question and answer manner. So I'll be using a mixture of MCQs, identification, probably matching type every once in a while. So most of your lecturers will do the same. We each have our own respective teaching styles. Biochem will be iba yung magiging style definitely ni Ronnie Bastian from the way I teach my physiology pearls. But basically all of us will have that mindset na may nabasa na kahit paano yung estudyante, malapit na yung board exams, kailangan ituro mo na talaga yung pinaka-importante at kailangan mo siyang ituro in a way na madaling matandaan. So usually that's in a question and answer format. So there are two purposes okay, for the top-notch pearls. The first purpose is to reinforce core knowledge from the main lectures, main handouts, hindi introduce. So, ang mindset namin dito, kahit noon pa, for the past 17 years, dapat walang natututunan na bago yung estudyante pag pearls. Pag ang feeling nila, oh shit, ang ganda, ang bago yan, ngayon ko lang narinig. Mas kinakabahan ako kapag sinasabi ng mga estudyante yon. Pearls would have failed in that regard because the purpose of the pearls, okay, is really not to introduce anything new. It's to reinforce what's already been taught doon sa main lectures and main handouts. Kaya dapat for the next 6 days, from October 10 to October 15, ganito dapat yung pakiramdam. Para kayong nagkakaroon ng feeling ng deja vu na for the 6 days, parang, uy, alam ko yan, narinig ko na. Hindi ko lang ma-recall exactly, pero narinig ko na. Naalala ko yan. Yes, may sinabi dati si Doc Bansuela, may sinabi dati si Doc Ronnie Bats na ganito. Kapag gano'n yung nagiging realization ng student, then the pearls is effective. That's what we aim for. Okay? Reinforcement. So, itong reinforcement na to, kung titingnan ninyo, Doc, ini-lecture nyo na to nung main lecture at main handout, ba't turo nyo pa uli? Sadya yan, guys, by design. The pearls is basically our fail-safe na second, third reading ninyo. Nabasa nyo lang once yung main handout, main lectures. Di ba, I told you, at the end of the day, it's going to be okay since the pearls is there. That's the reason, okay? So, if you have done one reading ng main handout, okay, one reading ng main lectures, with the pearls are going to reinforce the top 20% most important information about the main lectures, main handout. So it will give you definitely a good fighting chance for the med boards. That's why it was structured that way. Okay. The second purpose of the pearls is to address backlogs. Okay. So if we're going to target the top 20% most important information in your main handout, even if you have backlogs, yung talagang absolutely, Doc, wala talaga akong binasa. All 12 subjects, wala akong pinanood na video, all 12 subjects. But I want to take the board exams ngayong October. I want a fighting chance kahit paano. Then take the pearls, do the flashcards, buzzwords, practice tests that we're going to have after the finals. And kahit paano, it will give you a good chance for the med boards. Not as best, of course, as having read the main handout twice, having watched the main lecture videos once. Not as best as people who have done that, but kahit paano may laban. Okay? Now, ano yung relationship ng pearls sa buzzwords? Yung pearls ninyo are based dun sa main handouts, main lectures. Yung buzzwords ninyo are based doon sa March 2023 med boards. They are basically lecture flashcards. So if you have already seen the flashcards natin, the flashcards are based on previous med boards questions, similar to practice test 1, 3, and 4. Practice test 1, 3, and 4 are all based on previous med boards question. Practice test 2 is the one based on the main handout. Flashcards are not based on the practice test. Instead, flashcards, just like the practice test, are all based on the previous med boards question. So there's a subtle but important difference when it comes to that. So, itong buzzwords, parang siyang flashcards na ni-lecture. Tapos yung focus ng buzzwords is yung most recent med boards. So this will be March 2023. So yung flashcards ninyo before March 2023 yan. October 2022, March 2022, downwards. Itong flashcards itong buzzwords ninyo, okay, you can take a look at my Fisio as an example. That is now based purely on the March 2023 med boards. Okay, mga given to us as feedback ng mga students. So, Doc, anong gimmick sa pearls? So, you've seen this given to you in a very long love letter from me. Okay, I want you to follow this very strictly. First, drop everything else. October 10 to October 15, wala nang magba-backlogs. Doc, magbabasa ako nung hindi ko pa natapos na backlog readings. Please do not do that. I want you to concentrate all your energy, all your time on the pearls handout. Doc, gagamit ako ng non-top-notch materials. Please do not do that. That's not the best way to do it. I want you to concentrate purely on the pearls. Okay? All your energy purely dito sa top-notch pearls natin. Do not read your main handouts or address your backlogs during the pearls. Okay? Do not even do practice tests during this time. You can, but we don't recommend. Okay? Do not mix and match with non-top-notch materials. Talagang purely, 6 days lang naman to guys. Parang playoff season ng basketball, ng NBA. Concentrate purely on the top-notch pearls. Now, how do you do the top-notch pearls? Some of you, babasahin ko lang yung handout ng pearls. Guys, don't do that. Hindi structured, hindi designed yung pearls na babasahin mo lang. Pinawarningan ko na kaya kahit dun sa Fisio, nakita nyo may mga blanks doon, may mga matching type. Tapos may mga notes akong ibibigay na additional verbally. Hindi structured ang pearls para basahin lang. It's not a reading assignment. Okay? You have to watch the actual lectures. Make notes while watching the actual lectures. Okay? So you play the video once. Huwag nyo nang i-pause, huwag nyo nang i-rewind. 3 to 4 hours lang buong subject ng pearls natin. Pag pinos, ni-rewind nyo yan, naabot ng 6-7 oras, then mabubuisit kayo, magwawala kayo, bakit hindi nyo natatapos? Sinabihan na kayo, huwag nyo i-pause, huwag nyo i-rewind yan. Have the mindset na nasa actual classroom kayo. Okay? And listen as best as you can to the lectures. Pag na-miss mo, move on. Okay? Huwag mo nang i-pause rewind yan, natatagal lalo. Hindi yan, masasanay ka subconsciously na tama rin dahil pwede mo siyang i-pause rewind. Kung sinanay mo yung utak mo na hindi tama rin, na makinig ng matino, dahil hindi na siya mapupause mani-rewind, mag-pay attention better yung subconscious mo. Play it on the TV, don't play it in iPad, don't play it in your laptops. The screen is too small. Don't play it using headphones. The sound is too soft. Okay? Play it on loudspeakers, play it on a TV, play it on a projector. Okay? Next. We're trying to win you away from highlighters. Malapit na kayong maging lisensyadong doktor. Lisensyadong doktor hindi gumagamit ng highlighter. Pang estudyante yan, pang high school at pang college yan. Highlighters will slow you down. We already sent you literature that highlighters do not improve student grades when it comes to MCQs. Okay? Instead, I want you to utilize red ball pens. Yung red ball pens, ang gimmick dyan, okay? Gagamitin nyo siya to check important phrases, to encircle important words, and to write side notes sa tabi ng handout nyo. Okay? The red ball pen will contrast with the black font of your handouts. So for the pearls, wean yourself away from highlighters. Okay? You have yellow highlighters, itabi nyo yan, red ball pens lang. Okay, nung main handout nyo, di namin pinakailaman yan kasi talagang long time habit eh. Pero ngayon, ang tingin kasi natin sa pearls is a transition stage for you. Okay? Virtually next month, almost all of you will become licensed physicians. Guys, hindi na talaga dapat gumagamit ng highlighters. I don't use personally highlighters anymore. Okay? Talagang red ball pens na lang when I need to study something. Okay? Mas nakakatulong, mas mabilis. Okay? Hindi nauubos yung oras mo, okay? Nafo-force ka na hindi lang talaga mag-memorize particular passages. Nafo-force kang mag-side notes. Okay? So for the pearls, utilize red ball pens. Do 2 subjects per day, okay? I need to coordinate with the media team so far. Fisio pa lang yung tapos, Fisio handout, pearls tapos. Nirarush na ng mga teachers yung mga respective video lectures nila and handouts. We will release them as soon as possible. But guys, ang deadline basically ng mga yan is the night before they are scheduled. So halimbawa naka-schedule ang PrevMed and Pedia bukas, okay, they will, PrevMed and Pedia, expect them to be given only by tonight, the day before, okay, including the handout. The other subjects, pipilitin natin. Okay, naibigay sa inyo as early as possible. Pero guys, hindi ko naman pwedeng pagalitan si Ronnie Bats, hindi ko naman pwedeng murahin yan kung bakit hindi nila ma-submit ng maaga. We will prioritize the quality, okay, over the time na sinubmit ng mga teachers yan. Okay, crammers din ang mga teachers nyo, just like students. They would like to be so OC with their PowerPoint lecture videos and handouts, and they will release this only very, very close to the deadline, similar to students. So I apologize in advance for that. Yung sa Fisio, the one in my control, i-release ko na ng maaga. I've recorded it as early as possible. But for the other subjects, I cannot force your teachers to do the same. Okay? Historically, they will be able to give it, okay, very close to the deadlines, very close to the scheduled dates of their actual first lectures. Okay? Next. Can you do 2 readings ng Pearls handout, Doc? You can, but we recommend just 1. Basically, itong next 6 days, October 10 to 16, pag nakinig ka ng lecture, yung handout mo, natapos mo na din. Okay? So after the finals, elective season na yan, you can go back again to the Pearls or you can do the practice test, flashcards, etc. Personally, from my viewpoint, better na itong next 6 days, Pearls lang. And then pagkatapos ng finals, I'll probably do some practice test, flashcards, buzzwords, yun na. And then silip ng konti dun sa mga main handouts. Okay? Again, for tonight, for October 10 to 16, place your main handout and your Pearls handout side by side. Pag natapos mo yung Pearls lecture video sa gabi, yung parts na hindi mo maintindihan, silipin mo mabilis doon sa main handout. Okay? Usually, mas ma-intense ang discussion ng mga concepts na yon doon sa main handout. So, take a quick look at the main handout, browse. So, yung ginagawa ng iba during the master period, ginamit nila yung mga practice test as basis kung anong parts ang titingnan sa main handout. We didn't recommend that sa Top Notch because you'll actually be doing the same pagdating ngayon sa Pearls. You watch the Pearls video, you read the Pearls handout during the day. At night, parts you don't understand, sisilipin sa main handout. Okay? Yun yung hindi nyo nakita ng mga gumawa ng technique na yun na practice test main handout na technique. Okay? Please follow these recommendations above strictly. Okay? As much as possible, please do not play around with it. Okay? Kasi 17 years na natin ginagawa yan. Napag-aralan na namin lahat ng possible permutations at possible strategies na ginagawa ng mga students dito. This is the best way to do it. Okay? Pearls video lectures and handouts sabay. On a TV, red ball pens, 2 subjects a day. Okay? Side by side, Pearls handout, main handout. Drop everything else. Don't do any backlogs within the next 6 days. Okay? So this is your schedule. Okay? October 10, doon ilo-launch yung PEDIA PrevMed. Doon nyo dapat panoorin yung PEDIA and PrevMed Pearls lecture videos. Okay? So the handouts will be released the night before. Okay? October 11, IM and OB, 10, Pharma and Surge, etc. So, Doc, ano yung basis nyo for the sequence? The sequence is basically the reverse of your actual med boards. Ang sequence ng actual med boards is Biochem, Anna, Micro, Official Legal Med Pato, Pharma Surge, IM, OB, PEDIA, PrevMed. 3 subjects at a time, 4 days. So, if you'll notice, inuna namin yung mga pinakadulong subjects nyo and then reverse chronology. Yung biochem and anatomy will be on the last day. So, ano yung purpose nito, Doc? So, ang naging mindset namin dito is para yung mga day 1 and day 2 subjects closer dun sa time na inaral mo yung Pearls. So, October 14, 15 siya instead of October 10 to 11 para fresh pagdating ng actual day 1, day 2 ng medboards. This is the first time we've conducted it. Actually, ang previous Pearls schedule ng Top Notch is yung kung ano yung schedule na binigay doon sa main tsaka doon sa mastery period. Yun din lang din sinusundan pagdating sa Pearls. So we decided to change it a little, experiment a little pagdating dito. Hopefully, dahil mas fresh pa sa mga estudyante, yung mga day 1, day 2 subjects, dito sa pagkakaschedule sa Pearls, mas maganda yung magiging outcome. Okay? So some FAQs. Doc, should I do my backlogs during the Pearls week? No. Highly recommend that you concentrate purely on the Pearls. Doc, kailan ko babalikan yung backlogs ko kung hindi ko gagawin ngayong Pearls? Option 1, you do them after the finals. May 3 days and 5 days pa, respectively, before day 1 and day 3 of your medboards for you to do those backlogs. Or number 2, you completely alay na lang lahat ng backlogs na yan. I-alay mo na yan para doon sa Pearls. Okay? So, next question. Should I do practice test 4 during the Pearls week? You can, but I personally would not recommend. If I were a student, I'll probably concentrate purely on the Pearls and then gagawin ko na lang yung practice test 4 ko after the finals. I may even opt not to do practice test 4 anymore. 3 practice tests is sufficient to prepare you for the med boards. 4 is basically just a bonus kung kakayanin mo pa. So never force yourself to do practice test 4. You don't need to do PT4. If you're going to do practice test 4, do them after the finals. Yun yung best time. Should I do the flashcards at night during the Pearls week? Pwede. Pwede mo rin gawin talaga yan. But personally, once again, save your energy purely for the Pearls. Do your flashcards after the finals. That's how I would do it if I were a student. Okay? Next, very interesting. Several students have asked me about this even in previous batches. And then several students asked me about this during the mastery period. So ganito yung magiging strategy nila. If you've noticed our schedule, all 12 subjects, may Pearls na siya from October 10 to October 15. So ang tanong ng mga estudyante na to, Doc, sa halip na tirahin ko 2 subjects a day, pwede bang titirahin ko 1 subject per day lang? I will just do the first 6 subjects of the med boards. Biochem, Anna, Michael, Fiscal, Legal, Medpato, from October 10 to October 15. And then gagawin ko na lang po yung other 6 subjects between day 2 and day 3 of the med boards. Yung 5 days na break between day 2 and day 3 ng med boards. So, these are our recommendations. First, we do not recommend that you do that. Why don't you recommend to? Hindi ba mas maganda? 1 subject lang yung i-concentrate namin. So talagang mas malaki yung energy namin, tsaka mas malaki yung concentration namin for the first 6 subject ng med boards. Experience has taught us that, number 1, crossover questions, okay, coming from day 3 and day 4 will be present in day 1 and day 2 subjects. Anong ibig sabihin nun, Doc? Yung questions ng IM, Pedia, Surgery, pwede nyo makita doon sa anatomy, sa micro. Yung mga questions na dapat pang day 3, day 4, nakikita siya sa day 1, day 2 subjects. So we call them crossover questions. So those crossover questions, tingnan nyo, scenario, kung nag-aaral ka lang ng 6 subjects, hindi mo inaral yung the other 6 subjects sa Pearls, you're going to have a lower grade. Pag tinanong yan sa day 1 and day 2 subjects. So those crossover questions, that's the biggest reasons why we don't recommend that you do that technique. Okay? Second reason is for people with low EQ. Katulad ko yan, mababati ng EQ ko to be honest pagdating sa ganito. Pag first time mong aralin yung Pearls natin, tapos aralin mo yan, naka 2 days ka na ng board exams, tapos ngayon we only have 5 days to prepare for day 10, day 4 ng med boards. Yung 5 days na yon, akala mo masarap mag-aral, guys, hindi. Nakakabuisit mag-aral doon. Especially kung mag-aaral ka for the first time, first reading ng Pearls handout. Kasi doon mo ma-realize, number 1, yung mga mali mo. Makikita mo na, shit, nagkamali ako dito. Bakit hindi ko nabasa itong Pearls handout na to before day 1? Nasagutan ko sana ng tama. You will have that feeling all throughout when you read the 6 subjects, the last 6 subjects na Pearls during those 5-day break. For some people, they can let it go. Ay, tapos na, wala nang magagawa. Continue, life goes on. But for others, their mental health takes a toll kapag nakita nila yon. Nagkakaroon ng regret na dapat inaral na lang nila before day 1 ng boards, lahat ng Pearls. Okay? So, for people with low EQ, people na hindi may tama sa mental health kapag ganito yung nangyayari, so one of the reasons why we don't recommend that you do this technique na 6 subjects lang yung aaralin. Okay? Also, final reason, the Pearls schedule for your batch was reverse. Kasi ang mindset namin, 12 subjects yung aralin nyo, hindi lang 6. So, halimbawa ngayon, hindi pa available yung Biochem Ana na Pearls video lectures. Kasi naka-schedule yan, October 15 pa. So, hindi pa rin talaga magagawa itong 6 subjects na technique. We don't recommend it. Okay? Ang mindset dapat dyan, you do all the preparation for all the 12 subjects before day 1 ng med boards. Tapos yung maaaral mo between day 2 and day 3, yung 5 days, parang bonus na lang dapat Practice test, flashcards, etc. Wala na talaga dapat main reading or Pearls handout reading. Mahirap mag-aral ng main handout tsaka ng Pearls handout during that 5-day break. Okay, mahirap sa EQ. Okay? Next. Doc, paano yung buzzwords? Paano yung gimmick dyan? Paano na yung pag-aaralan? So again, the buzzwords are basically flashcards lectures, okay, based on the most recent med boards, March 2023. Your current flashcards are based on October 2022 downwards. Okay? So these are synchronous. Fresh for your batch. Ngayon pa lang ginagawa yan. Ngayon pa lang sinusulat. Even though it's synchronous, we're going to upload it immediately after so you can watch it at your own time. Okay? Best lang if you're going to attend the lectures to actually attend the lecture, okay, when it was shown para makapagtanong kayo. So, ginagawa namin pa rin itong synchronous para makapagtanong yung student similar to the Quizmaster. Okay? Now, recommendations. How will I personally study if I were the student? You may opt to actually attend these lectures. Okay? Kung gusto mo nakakakinig ng teacher, gusto mo makapagtanong, you may opt to attend the lectures. Or, okay, you can just read the buzzwords handouts. Okay? Since Q&A lang siya na parang flashcards format, sabi ko, kaya na to na kahit basahin na lang ng student. But there's a certain population talaga who will learn better pag narinig nila at nakapag-interact sila sa teachers. So let's give them the two options. Pwede kayong either makinig ng lecture or basahin nyo lang yung buzzwords handouts. Okay? So consider the buzzwords lectures in top-notch as an elective. Okay? Next. Don't worry, you don't need to take screen caps of this. I'll give the entire PowerPoint in a MS Word format, PDF format for you to download para may guide kayo. How do we study for the Pearls Week? You can modify the schedule, but this is how I will do it if I were in your position. Okay, 6 a.m. to 7, exercise. 7 a.m. to 8, breakfast, bath, etc. 8 a.m. to 12, I will do the first subject doon sa Pearls. Okay, 12 to 12:30 lunch, 12:30 to 1 mental health break. Anything I want sa pag mental health break. 1 to 5 p.m. Pearls subject video part 2, D1, part 2 na dapat to, plus the handout. Okay? 5 to 5:30 dinner, 5:30 to 7 p.m. mental health break. And then ito, 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. 11 p.m. kayo matutulog, elective. Dok, anong elective yan? Anong gagawin namin? Okay? You have several choices for this one. Okay? Take a look. You have 5 choices. First choice, option 1. Okay? For this 4 hours, basahin nyo very quickly yung Pearls handout and identify personal knowledge gaps. Dr. Carl Avilo used this term. I really like it. Identify your knowledge gaps. Meaning, identify mo yung parts na nahihirapan ka pa, hindi ko mo pa man naiintindihan masyado. Dok, hindi ko naiintindihan yung buong subject. Ito to yan. May parts ka talaga na hindi naiintindihan. Prioritize kung ano yung least na hindi mo alam na pwedeng lumabas sa medboards. Identify that using the Pearls handout, yung hindi pa familiar sa'yo, yung talagang bago. Then, silipin mo yung part na yon sa main handout. Okay? Next. Another option. So you can opt option 1, option 5. Okay, option 2. Okay, sa gabi you watch the Quizmaster sessions. We're going to upload all the Quizmaster sessions. QM1, QM2, all 12 subjects by tomorrow, October 10. So choose just one. You can do, of course, up to 2 QMs per subject, but I would recommend just 1 QM. Mamili na lang kayo for each subject times 2 subjects per night. Okay? Option 3, you can do flashcards, 2 subjects per night also. Okay? Option 4, do practice test, 2 subjects per night also. However, itong flashcards and practice test options, highly recommend that you just do this after the finals, very close to the medboards. Anyway, right now, probably nakapag-practice test 1, 2 na kayo at the very least. Most students would have done practice test 1, 2, 3. Okay? So, itong flashcards and practice test 4, I'll reserve that for the finals if I were in your position. Okay? And option 5, okay? 7 p.m. to 11, itulog nyo na lang, recover for the Pearls subject the next day. Okay? If I were the student, Doc, anong gagawin nyo dyan? Be honest, if I were the student, I'll probably do option 1, but I'll stop at around 9 p.m. Okay? 9 p.m., gusto ko talagang fresh na fresh yung tulog ko para fresh na fresh ako for the Pearls the next day. So I'll probably do option 1. Hindi ko kaya yung option 5 na parang 4 hours, prime time pa naman yun, 7 to 11, tutulog ko yan, parang hindi ko kaya. Pero siguro mga hanggang 9, 7 to 9, aralin ko yung Pearls handout, identify knowledge gaps, see them in the main handout. I'll do it until 9, then early sleep or early relaxation. Manood ako ng some comedy shows, etc. Okay, bago matulog. Okay? Next. So, again, elective yan I'll probably coordinate with my MG or mentor, ask their advice. Doc, in my context, ito yung midterm ko, ito yung rank ko during med school, ito yung practice test results ko so far, ito yung strategy so far na ginawa ko during mastery. Ano po yung ma-recommend yung gawin ko for my elective? So ask your mentor, MG, about it. Okay? So they can give their advice. And also, of course, ask your friends, anong ginagawa nyo for this 7 p.m. to 11? Okay? But take note, it really is student dependent. Okay? Yan yung part na kailangan i-identify mo. Ano ba yung status mo so far? Ano ba yung strategies, tactics mo so far? Okay? Personally, again, if I were a student, I'll probably do option 1 until 9 p.m. 9 p.m. to 11, I'll probably watch comedy shows. Just do some relaxing things and then tulog na by 11. Okay? Next, after the Pearls Week, Doc, anong gagawin namin? Ito, importante dito. October 16, okay? Monday, okay? Take the final exams from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Huwag nang mag-aral hanggang October 17, 6 a.m. Allot that time for your mental health break, immediately after the finals. Anong gagawin namin, Doc, as form of relaxation? Anything you want. Go to the sea and reflect. Swim in the pool, watch a movie, be in the arms of your loved ones. Go to church, eat at a nice restaurant, visit the park. Get a facial, get a massage. Cook or give food to street children. Get drunk. Something wild and fun. Get it out of your system. Okay? Recharge. Okay? It's the best time to do it immediately after your finals while you're waiting for the results. Okay? What to do after the Pearls Week? October 17 to 19, after the finals. So you have 3 days before day 1 of the med boards. Okay? Scantron workshop will be done October 18, 2023, 8 a.m. to 9. Please attend that. Okay? Pampataas ng grade yan kasi may mga taong bumababa ang grade pag palpak ang pag-shade nila sa Scantron. Please attend. Next, our panel discussion and send-off will be on October 19, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Originally, we schedule usually our send-off and panel discussion the day before the med boards, always on the morning, 8 a.m. However, your teachers for this, si Carl Avelo, Jonathan Chan, Dr. Comedian, they're all not available on the morning of October 19. So we scheduled this to 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. So kami yung pampatulog nyo basically, guys. Okay, bago mag-med boards. Kami na yung pampatulog nyo, 8 p.m. after this, patulog na kayo. Warning naman namin kayo about this. So for October 17 to October 19, 3 days, coordinate with your MG or mentor. You have several choices. This is basically top-notch elective season. You can do your backlogs. You can do summary lectures. We're going to make it available na this time. Summary lectures, QM, you can select. Practice tests, flashcards, buzzwords, you can do them during this time. Bonus lecture in Biochem will also be given by Lonnie Bats during this time. Okay? During the 5-day break between day 2 and day 3 of your med boards. So this will be from October 22 to October 26. So again, the choices. You do your backlogs, summary lectures QM, practice tests, flashcards, buzzwords, and bonus lectures in OBGYN, asynchronous given by Shane Fautagana, and Pedia, synchronous via Zoom, okay, by Dr. Ian De Vera. Okay? So those are choices that you have. Elective season na yan, kanya-kanya na yan, individual. Okay? Important dates that you must remember. October 18 will be the Scantron workshop. October 19 will be the top-notch panel discussion. For that panel discussion, yung pampatulog bago mag-med boards, the day before the med boards, please invite your parents to watch. Kasi kailangan ko rin sila yung orient. May mga nagtitake advantage of parents pagdating ng actual med boards, nagpapanggap na Board of Medicine, or nagpapanggap na kapwa parent, taking advantage of the fear of the parents. So I need to warn them about it. I also need to warn them kung paano yung hatid sundo, paano yung pakain sa inyo during those 4 days. So please invite your parents to watch, okay, yung panel discussion natin. Okay? We will orient you sa panel discussion na to about the actual MedBoards days. Kung ano yung ginagawa, ano yung requirements, ano yung mga not to do, ano yung mga to do, ano yung mga pwede niyong gawin, hindi pwedeng gawin. Please attend. Okay? Next, October 20, 2023 will be the release of top-notch feedback forms. This will be in Google Form format. You need to provide feedback to all 12 subjects of the top-notch program, all the lecturers, all the components of the program, MG, mentor, etc. Okay? And you need to provide feedback to the actual MedBoards days. So we'll make this available from October 20 to November 8, 2023. Please be as detailed and as specific as possible. And please be as diplomatic as possible because we actually forward those feedback to the teachers concerned. Okay? Next, October 28, 2023, the last day of your MedBoards, day 4. We're going to conduct a simple top-notch party, may konting dinner, maraming alak. So if you can join us, drinks are on us. Okay? Join your mentors and MGs. Venue to be announced, but definitely it will be in Metro Manila. Probably somewhere in New Manila. Okay? There will be an online component. So kung mag-iinuman kayo, i-show niyo sa Zoom na nag-iinuman kayo. Okay? Mag-inuman tayo sabay-sabay on that day, October 28, 2023. Last day ng MedBoards, 7 p.m. onwards. Okay? October 17 to 26, there will be a okay? October 17 to October 26, there will be a virtual library with the MG. So para siyang Discord session, the MG will be the one to decide kung gaano siya kahaba at kung kailan. Okay? So the MG will coordinate with you. Anong gagawin dito, Doc? Mag-aaral lang kayo sabay-sabay with them. Pwede magbigay ng quiz, pwede hindi. Okay? But it's something to, di ba, may questions kayo, makilala niyo ibang mga tao, turn on your webcams. Okay? It's a place for you to actually interact, have social support, okay, with your fellow board exam takers, okay, under your MGs. Next, October 30, 2023 will be the final top-notch meeting on Zoom, final mornings with MG session. So this will be 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. So this will be 2 days after the last day of the MedBoard. So your MedBoards will end October 28. So 2 days after that, before the board exam results are released. So we expect the board exam to be released only after October 10. So that will be in the first week of November. So October 30, 2023, final top-notch meeting. Anong gagawin natin, Doc? Tapos na yung boards at that time. We will give you an orientation how the MedBoards results are released. We will tell you how to process the MedBoards results. If you pass, ano ngayon ang gagawin niyo sa buhay? Kung hindi pumasa, anong gagawin niyo ngayon sa buhay? Okay, so i-orientan natin kayo bago pa lumabas yung results. We'll give also information about the Moonlighting and Pre-Residency Seminar and our plans for the March 2024 MedBoards. Okay, so practice test 4 are going to be released same schedule with the pearls. However, we recommend that you only take practice test 4 after the finals. That will be the best time. You may also opt not to take practice test 4 at all. Skip the practice test 4 if you've done PT1 to PT3. All the Quizmaster sessions, Quizmaster 1 and 2 videos will be released by tomorrow, October 10, 2023. So choose and select. Okay? Summary lectures will be released only by October 16, only after your pearls. This is to prevent autophagocytosis with the pearls lectures. You don't want the summary lectures to compete with the pearls lecture. So it will only be released by October 16, 2023. Okay? Buzzword sessions, okay, will be conducted October 17 and 18 for the first 6 subjects. Then the rest will be after that. Final exam will be on October 16 to 2023. Gagawin na rin natin to prevent again yung problems with Google Forms. We're going to release the PDF of the questionnaire, 7 a.m. You can print that. Answer initially dun sa Scantron before you place your final answers dun sa Google Form. Okay? So, results will be released by the next day, October 17, 2023. Hintay na rin ng mga some med schools na ano natin. Scantron lecture, October 18, 8 a.m. Okay? And then the special lectures, Biochem special lectures will be on October 19, 7 a.m. Pedi special lecture will be on October 26, 7 a.m. So Biochem will be by Ronnie Baticolon, Pedia will be by Ian De Vera. Then the panel discussion send off. So it will be conducted by me, Dr. Jonathan Chan, Carl Avilo, Dr. Ika Comedian. Ika Comedian will represent March 2023 MedBoards. Jonathan Chan will represent October 2022 MedBoards. Dr. Carl Avilo will represent the teachers. Okay? So MedBoards will be on October 20, 21, 27, and 28. Okay, Platinum books, Surgery Platinum, currently being printed. Malapit nang lumabas, Surgery Platinum version 2. Moonlighting Residency Seminar, I'll give you more information about this in the coming days. Okay, so don't worry, I'll give you I'll give you this PowerPoint in MS PDF format later on today. Thank you so much, everyone. Okay, that's it for the intro to the pearls.
All right. Thank you very much, Doc Broly, for giving us the intro to pearls. Guys, eto na, crunch time na tayo. This is the pearls week na tayo ngayon. After your leg med and your medical jurisprudence for today, ha? Meron pa tayong time, okay? May leg medical jurisprudence pa tayo na mastery. But malapit na ang pearls natin. So make sure that you have taken down some notes from Doc Broly's introduction to pearls. Although we will give you a PDF or a document, Word document format for the slides of Doc Broly's intro to pearls, para at least guided pa rin kayo, okay, even after this session. So with that, guys, we will end with, of course, the usual send-off video uli namin, okay, para sa inyong lahat for this morning. And I hope that you will enjoy. Thank you for tuning in for the Quizmaster session here at the Top Notch Portal and also the introduction to pearls. So for my babies, please stay here sa ating Zoom session for our mornings with MG. Okay, and for the rest of you guys who are watching at the portal, please go to your respective MG sessions after this session. Thank you.
Ito na naman tayo bagong simula. Huminga ng malalim, alisin ang kaba. Tapos na ang kahapon, pwede na yan itapon. Huwag lang ang mga aral, dapat yan ay ibaw. Katulong mo sa panibagong hamon. May paparating na bagong araw. Pwede kang lamunin o pwede mong sabayan. Aral ang kahapon, pwede kanyang gabayan. Kung ako sa'yo, tumayo ka na dyan. Huwag ka na magpahuli. Kami ay sundan patungo sa liwanag. Abutin ng tala. Pagkatapos pagkita sa mundo, pusong nagbabaga. Upang lahat ay mamulat sa aking susulat. Parinig sa lahat ang aking ulat. Huwag kang mabahala, ang Diyos na ang bahala. Walang imposible, sige lang sige. Abot mo ang mundo, malapit malayo. Sama-sama tayo hanggang sa dulo. Ano man ang pagsubok, isusuko. Alam kong kaya mo. Sige lang sige, sige lang sige. Walang imposible. Walang imposible. nagniningning ang pangarap ng iyong pusong humihiling. Nakalimutan ang kahapon, sana'y dinggin. Sigaw ng aking puso, hindi susuko, hindi susuko.
Ilabas ang iyong pangarap, huwag mo yang itatago. Samahan mo ng sipag at tatag ng puso. Tumayo ka sa iyong silya, ikaw ngayon ang bida. Wala nang pipigil pa, eto na, eto na.
Walang imposible, sige lang sige. Abot mo ang mundo, malapit malayo, sama-sama tayo hanggang sa dulo. Ano man ang pagsubok, di susuko. Alam kong kaya mo, sige lang sige, sige lang sige. Walang imposible. Napapagod, naiinip, natatawa, nagtataka, naiinggit, nagagalit, nangangawit, nabibigla, nalulungkot, nabubugnot, nahihiya, natutugso, nakukonsensya, nauubusan din ng pasensya, nasasaktan, nagmumura, pero lumalaban pa rin dahil natuto nga.
Hanggat ako'y humihinga, sugod ang laban pa. Pangarap pabutin, kumislap tulad ng mga bituin. Sige lang, di ka nag-iisa. Sige lang, sige pa.
Walang imposible, sige lang sige. Abot mo ang mundo, malapit malayo, sama-sama tayo hanggang sa dulo. Ano man ang pagsubok, di susuko. Alam kong kaya mo, sige lang sige, sige lang sige. Walang imposible, sige lang sige. Abot mo ang mundo, malapit malayo, sama-sama tayo hanggang sa dulo. Ano man ang pagsubok, di susuko. Alam kong kaya mo, sige lang sige, sige lang sige. Walang imposible. Walang imposible.
Kung kaya ko, kaya mo. Sige lang, sige. Eto na naman tayo bagong simula.
Ayan. Thank you very much again for joining us here at the Top Notch Portal QM. Stay safe everyone, study well. Yung mga babies ko, stay. Okay? Yung iba, go na sa kanilang mga MV sessions. Alright, thank you.